There we go. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the first episode of JK Hub Trivia Challenge. Joining us today as our contestants, we have Edward, Gibbagobba, and Ogle45.
Greetings.
Now, the premise behind this is a series of trivia questions based on the Star Wars universe. I think starting today we'll go with the classic trilogy, since most people are familiar with that. It will consist of 4 rounds with 4 questions each. Now, the first round, the questions are going to be worth 25 points, and they will be fairly easy. They will progress in difficulty and go up to 50 points in the second round, 100 points in the third round, and 200 points in the fourth round. In the event of a tie, we are going to have a tiebreaker question. I have not determined the difficulty of that yet. So, is everybody ready to begin? Alrighty.
Sure.
By random roll, we have Edward going first. So, Edward, your first 25-point question. Which character did Luke Skywalker insist that he had to confront?
Which character Luke Skywalker insisted he had to confront?
Yes.
Darth Vader, his own father.
That is correct. Good job, Edward.
5 points.
Yep, that would be 25 for Edward. Gibba, are you ready for your first question?
Sure.
Which Star Wars character was called an oaf and a fuzzball?
Chewbacca.
That is correct. Ogle, are you ready for your first question?
Go for it.
Which character told C-3PO it's not wise to upset a Wookiee?
That would be Han Solo in episode 4.
Good job. So after our first set of questions, everything seems fairly okay so far. You guys are not finding these questions too difficult?
Not yet.
Not yet. Alright, Edward, your second question. Ready? Who insisted that Luke Skywalker should learn patience with time? Who insisted that Luke Skywalker would learn patience with time?
Obi-Wan Kenobi. At least the ghost of him.
That is correct. Gibbagobba, you ready?
I guess so.
What was Luke Skywalker's call sign during the Battle of Hoth? Hoth, yes.
I guess Red Leader.
I'm sorry, that is incorrect. The correct answer was Rogue Leader.
Pretty close.
Yes, indeed. You ready, Ogle?
I am ready.
Who did Yoda claim to have watched for a long time?
That would be Obi-Wan.
No, I'm sorry. The correct answer was Luke Skywalker.
Okay.
If you remember right, in Empire Strikes Back, he said to Obi-Wan, "A long time have I watched."
How did he watch Luke? Through the Force.
See, even Gibba gets this one.
Okay. I probably wouldn't have guessed that, though. Shows how much I know.
Right. Alright, Edward. Your third question in the first round. What creature attacked Luke while he was on patrol on Hoth?
If I got this right. A Wampa.
Good job. I'm impressed so far. Edward is doing fairly well.
I suppose if you were specific, you would say it's a snow Wampa, because I think their death shrine is by Shadow of the Empire.
And Swamp Wampas from Mysteries of the Sith.
Right. But yeah, that's what it was. Let's get specific, why don't we? We're silverback gorillas.
Gibbagobba, your third question. Who urged Luke, stretch out with your feelings?
I'm gonna have to guess Master Yoda.
I'm sorry, the correct answer was Obi-Wan Kenobi. And Ogle45, your question will be, how many meters long is an average womp rat?
And this is a round one question.
Yeah.
Got the easy one.
Actually, if you guys paid attention during the Battle of Yavin, this one is easy.
3 meters.
I'm sorry, the correct answer was 2 meters. 2 meters.
I was thinking funnily enough, I had 4, but okay, 2 meters.
Let's see.
How are you right now, Edward? I wonder which video edition are we doing? The original, the DVD, or the VHS release? I'm joking. Overcomplicate this movie. I've already done that.
Okay, Edward, your question for round one is, who told C-3PO to shut up at the Jawa sale? So you don't know the answer?
No.
The answer was Owen Lars.
I knew it. I knew that one. Why couldn't you give him that? I was like biting my tongue, just like waiting for the answer.
Gibbagobba, your final round one question. Who did Greedo work for?
Jabba the Hutt.
That is correct.
Finally got one.
And Ogle45, your round one finale. What was the Falcon unable to get a reading on after arriving at the second Death Star?
The shield's brain frying.
You said what now, Ogle?
The shields.
Good job.
I could hear Ogle's brain frying for a moment.
Was that what that loud popping sound was?
I'm pretty sure it was the X-Wing I'm replaying in my mind. I'm pretty sure it's the X-Wing that detected the shield.
No, it was actually Lando's co-pilot, Ian Nubb.
It was the what?
It was Lando's co-pilot. Remember he told Lando we couldn't get...
Pilot was the Celestin.
Yeah, the Celestin.
Everyone's thing didn't detect it, because Wedge specifically goes, Lando goes, the shields are still up, and then Wedge goes, I get no reading, are you sure? And then Lando's like, all crap, spool up.
Right, but before that, remember he was saying he couldn't get a reading on the shield up or down.
Okay. Oh, yeah, you're right, okay.
All
crap, spool up. All crap, spool up. They're drumming the cage.
And on to round two. Now, these questions are worth 50 points apiece, and they will be a little bit harder. Let's see. Edward, your question will be, how many credits did Obi-Wan promise to give Han Solo once they reached Alderaan?
I know this one. I was about to take that. Luckily I'm not watching the screen, but...
wild guess?
You have nothing to lose. $1 million.
15,000. Now all of a sudden it seems so perfectly clear, doesn't it? Let's see.
See, now in that question I would have asked for a clarification. But it wasn't my question.
Let's see. Gibbagobba, your round 2 question will be, what Cloud City industrial process carries a lethal risk if used on a human being?
Congratulations, Uncle. But unfortunately, it is not your question.
No, it is yours, Gibba, and we're still waiting for an answer.
Can I have the question repeated?
Yes, you may. What Cloud City industrial process carries a lethal risk if used on a human being?
Carbonite freezing.
Good job. Very good job. Our first 50-point winner.
I'll be back in a quick bit.
And Gibbagobba has taken the lead, and a short hiatus. Let's see, Ogle 45, your question will be, who claimed to be looking forward to completing Luke's training?
In which episode are we referring to?
I'm not going to specify. It's one of the original trilogy episodes. A particular individual claimed to be looking forward to completing Luke's training.
Well, in episode 6, that would be the Emperor.
I'll give you that one. I admit that was a difficult question.
As in episode 5, Darth Vader hinted along those lines.
True, but he never actually...
Darth Vader in episode 5 was, I will complete your training, and then together you and I will rule the galaxy, father and son, and defeat the Emperor, and blah blah blah. And in episode 6, the Emperor goes, I look forward to completing your training, young Skywalker. In time, you will call me Master.
Well, just
so
long...
characters claim that.
Well, I'm sure he didn't mind if he called him Master just as long as he didn't call him late for supper. Now, should we wait a little bit until Gibbagobba can return?
So I got that one correct, yes?
Yes, you did.
Considering that it was a trick question.
Yes. Sounds like Gibbagobba may be back. No? Yes, no?
No, not yet.
No? Darn.
No. Okay, so question, which one did the trivia say it was?
The Emperor. Let's see. Edward, your question will be, who insisted that there was still good in Darth Vader?
Luke Skywalker.
That is correct. So now I'm going to end the recording and wait for Gibbagobba.
Question Edward had.
1 second. Let me get a red light here. To recap, Gibba, the question Edward had while you were on your hiatus was, who insisted that there was still good in Darth Vader? No, the correct answer was Luke, yes. Now, for your question for this one, Gibba, as you can see right now, Edward is in the lead with 125. You and Ogle are close second with 100 points each. Either one of you could take the lead at this point. Your question: what did Rebel pilots have to pass through before making their attack run on the first Death Star? What did Rebel pilots have to pass through before making their attack run on the first Death Star?
And you're recording this now?
Yes, I am.
The trench run.
I'm sorry, that is incorrect. The first thing they had to pass through was the magnetic field. So, unfortunately. Ogle, are you...
I enjoy your sympathy, Edward. Makes me realize I'm not the only one.
Well, that's one thing I think is funny. Everybody here, as much of Star Wars nerds as we are, we all sometimes overlook the obvious, you know. There were times I looked at these questions, I thought I knew the answers, and when I actually did the research and found the answers, I was like, what? But
it's because we have our own lives to attend to that prevent us from being overly absorbed in a fictional universe that provides no value besides entertainment.
As you once so eloquently put it, we're not Star Wars psycho nerds. I believe that was in one of the first video playthroughs you did, where you made some comment about not being able to read Arborish, just because you're not a complete Star Wars psycho nerd.
Even the fact it's pronounced Arabesh.
Yes. Oh my god, you are a Star Wars psycho nerd. You should have no trouble winning.
I would like my question now.
Alright, Ogo45, your second question in round 2. Who hooked himself to the bulkhead before daring to open the Falcon's top hatch?
That would be Lando Calrissian.
That is correct. Alright, Edward, are you ready for your question? Which character did Darth Vader warn with the words, "Don't fail me again"? The clock is ticking, Edward.
All these questions are timed. I can't get it.
The answer was Admiral Piet.
I wouldn't have gotten that one.
I don't remember Darth Vader ever apologizing to anyone. He always seemed completely indifferent.
He was apologizing. He simply said, "Do not fail me again." He just didn't decide to kill him outright.
Yeah, you know how he accepts apologies.
Yes, that is exactly how he accepts apologies.
Well, I think he did it really sarcastically. He's that much better. Apology accepted, Captain Neva. Oh, you remember that name?
He remembers the name of the dead guy.
I didn't.
He remembered the name of the dead guy, not the one that Vader let live. Alright. Your question, Gibba. Who shot at the Imperial probe droid? Good job. Ogle, give him 50 points.
Already done.
I see that. Are you ready for your question, Ogle?
Of course.
What two types of starfighters utilize R2 units as repair droids and co-pilots?
And we're just doing a original trilogy here, correct?
Yes.
And that would be the X-Wing, number 1, and I am pretty Y-Wing did too, am I correct?
Yes, you are. So give yourself 50 points.
The A-Wing didn't?
No, the A-Wing was a single-seat interceptor starfighter.
I sworn I remember seeing an A-Wing with a R2 unit.
No, the A-Wing didn't have enough space. Now, the Eta Actis Interceptor from Episode 3 had an R2 unit, as did the Delta 7 Jedi Starfighter, but
Those became obsolete.
I digress.
They didn't become obsolete. The Empire refused to produce them.
Hence obsolete.
It was a symbol of hope.
Edward.
They were hope. They were emotionally obsolete.
Edward, your round 2 finale question. What did Luke jam into the Rancor's mouth just as he was about to be munched? That is correct.
I would have guessed metal bar.
Gibbagobba, your round 2 finale question. What devices prevent droids from running off?
Oh my gosh. I know what it is, but I just... the name. I have no idea, so I'm just going to take a ridiculous blind stab at this remote something.
Remote something?
I really don't know, so...
I'm sorry, the correct answer was restraining bolts. Restraining bolts.
That's tough.
I thought it was a fairly easy question. Ogle45, your round 2 finale question. Who was the only person besides Luke to ignite Luke's blue-bladed lightsaber? The only person besides Luke to ignite Luke's blue-bladed lightsaber.
Well, once again, sticking with the original trilogy, that would be Obi-Wan Kenobi.
And I'm sorry, that would be incorrect. Obi-Wan never used Luke's lightsaber. That was Han Solo on Hoth.
Wait.
Obi-Wan had his own saber.
Episode 4, when Obi-Wan gives Luke
He never activated the saber.
and it just handed it up.
Right. Yeah. Never activated. He had to be in that lightsaber. Counting the original movies at their time, that blue lightsaber was pretty much forever alone. It's pretty sad.
Yes, unfortunately. Alright, round 3. These questions will be worth 100 points apiece, and again, as with the previous round, will be a little bit more difficult.
Do we have a score check for the audience?
Do we have a score check for the audience? Yes, we do. Currently, our leader is Ogle45 with 200 points, followed in second place by Edward with 175 points, and Gibbagobba with 150 points. It's not to say any one of them is doing overly well or overly bad. It's just that some of these questions are difficult.
Everyone has missed, no, never mind. Are they seeing the scoreboard?
Yes, they should be seeing the scoreboard, unless there is a completely terrible flicker, which I don't believe there should be. So.
What are you recording with?
Fraps.
And there shouldn't be a problem, I'd assume.
Well, I'm recording Skype so I'm recording Skype with Ogle's screen active, and, well, we'll just see how it turns out. That's why I had to give a score.
Shouldn't have a problem, I've done that before.
Yeah.
Alright, round 3. Edward, what type of ship was the shuttle Tydirium disguised as during transit to Endor?
this one, Gibba?
Yes.
I don't know this one.
It was supposed to be,
This isn't overly obvious answer in that case.
what was it, some kind of, some ambassadorial shuttle?
I'm sorry, that is incorrect. Gibba, what did you think the answer was?
Lambda-class shuttle.
That's what it was supposed to be disguised as?
That's what I remember it being disguised as.
No, Shuttle Tiberium was a Lambda-class shuttle. It was disguised as a cargo ship.
That's what I was going to say.
Come on.
I was like, unless it's an overly obvious answer, I do not know.
So I'm sorry, Edward.
I'm going to roll a duct tape.
Ambassadorial shuttle was not the correct answer.
I thought I remembered it because I mixed up the planets completely. I could have sworn like I remember somehow. My memory's faded on this, but I could have sworn I remembered like them having like rebuilt or modified a ship to look like a Lambda class.
No,
it was a stolen Empire. It's the actual Lambda class that said, let's give it the ship ID. Well, it's been a while since we moved to Sun 6. Me too.
Alright, Gibbagobba, your round 3 question. What planet has no cities or technology, but gives off massive life form readings?
And this is pertaining to the movies.
Yes. It was stated in one of the movies, which planet has no cities or technology, but gives off massive life form readings?
This planet, not a moon or anything.
Right. One of the characters stated that in the movie.
Cities. Dagobah.
Congratulations, give yourself 100 points. Or Oak will give him 100 points.
And he is taking the lead.
Providing you don't answer your question correctly.
Correct.
Ogle, your question is, what sector were Imperial ships detected in during the Second Death Star battle?
Repeat question.
What sector were Imperial ships detected in during the Second Death Star battle?
Down to 2 sectors. It's either sector 3 or 7. Which one is it? Can I guess what those that get half points?
Unfortunately, no. I need a definitive answer.
Should be either A or C. Now I'm adding choices. I need to stop doing that. 3, 8, 5, 7, or 11. Am I correct on it being one of those?
No.
Are you just saying no to say no?
No. I'm being sincere. You're not correct with any of those.
At least you didn't just leave it hanging there at no.
10 seconds.
Sector 4.
You said what?
Sector 4.
Close. I'm sorry. The correct answer was Sector 47. 47.
Oh yeah, that's 43 numbers so close.
7, I didn't get the 7.
Yes, but I'm sorry. Unfortunately, we cannot give you 50 points.
You got the 7, you got the 4, but it's meant to be together.
Let's see. Edward, your question will be, Who fired 5 bolts at an Imperial biker scout on Endor with his vessel's blaster cannon? Easier phrasing of the question. Who shot 5 times at a biker scout with his vehicle?
Really going into details here. I'm gonna guess on Luke.
Good job.
Seemed like a fairly obvious one.
All you had to think about who was actually driving a vehicle.
Was that much more later? Both of them were on it.
But at the same time, I was thinking I was also leaning towards Han Solo because he is the one to recklessly miss, but no, he didn't actually catch the bike.
Ogle, are you ready? Gibba, are you ready for your question?
Yes.
Who thought a blaster bolt might deter the Sarlacc? Who thought a blaster bolt might deter the Sarlacc?
I think it's pronounced deter. That's just my OCDness.
Deter, potato.
But I would have to say Han Solo.
Good job. 100 points for you.
Pretty blind guess, actually.
It was a pretty good guess. Sometimes guessing pays off, huh?
Better than not trying.
8 at the truth.
Are you ready for your question, Ogle?
As ready as I will be. Oh wait, hold on. I'll 6 movies really fast.
Unfortunately, I don't think we have 6 hours to kill.
What if everyone joins in?
Maybe some other time. We're doing trivia, so maybe.
Yeah, so study up for next week. Alright, your question for today is, who demonstrated considerable resistance to a mind probe?
That would be Princess Leia in episode 4.
Good job.
You're feeling very proud of your specification, aren't you?
Well, that was a really easy one, and I've learned I have to specify my answers, otherwise they could be declared incorrect.
Yes, but we aren't like a national quizzing board here. We're Star Wars nerds.
You missed a previous instinct.
This is not Jeopardy. You do not have to answer your questions in a form of a question.
What is Princess Leia? I mean, who is Princess Leia?
What is Princess Leia? Wow.
They used this little incident earlier today involving shields.
Deflector shields, ray shields, wind shields. Alright, Edward, your question will be, who was first to realize the second Death Star deflector shield was still intact? Who was the first to realize the second Death Star's deflector shield was still intact?
First to realize. Lando.
Good job.
Shields are still up. Make sure. Straight off of the. What do you mean you can't say if they're off the unless they're jamming it? Everyone pull up. Yeah, that question kind of like traces right off the one that Ogle was just talking about.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
And here's another question which ties in almost. Your question, Gibba. Who was known as Rogue 3 during the Battle of Hoth? Good job.
That was complete. I was almost about to guess Dak, and I'm like, no, I don't think co-pilots are given a call sign. Since he got offed.
And your question, Ogle. Who did Luke levitate through the Force while on Dagobah?
R2-D2.
Give yourself 100. And the final set for round 3. Edward, your question will be, let's see. How many TIE fighters pursued the Millennium Falcon during its escape from Cloud City?
Escaping from Cloud City, yeah. You having fun there, Ogle?
Affirmative.
I'd call that sad.
Especially since he missed 2 on Edwards.
Spreadsheet. Oh no, I missed it. I'll be guessing on 3.
And you would be guessing correct. So,
I kept having this image of, sort of having this image of the formation that Vader did on the trench run. Him in front and 2 backing him up.
So he gets 100.
yep, he gets 100. Gibbagobba, your question will be, what did the Falcon collide with to cause a box of tools to fall on Han's head?
Asteroid.
Good job. And Ogle 45, your round 3 finale. What star system contains a region of space the rebels call Sector 4?
Okay, alright, I'm down to 2. It's either Yavin or Hoth.
Gamma Quadrant Sector 4.
That almost sounds like it could be a Sonic level.
It was a reference to Toy Story.
Yeah, I know.
I don't remember they're actually referring to a sector in episode 4. So I'm gonna go with Hoth.
And you would be going in the correct star system.
Correct star system.
And I do believe it was the Empire that mentioned it was in the 4th sector of the Hoth system.
That is correct.
Can I ask for another break?
Can you ask for another break?
Yeah, because I need the time.
We'll be right back
Well,
after.
this is the end of the 3rd round, so good timing.
Time for a break. And welcoming back to the trivia. Sorry about the cutout there. We had to have a short break. Apparently too much trivia clogs up the innards. Starting round 4, Gibbagobba has taken the lead with 550 points. Ogle 45 is in second place with 500, and Edward, unfortunately, has fallen behind with 475. And surprising...
And Ogle cannot decide how he likes the scoreboard.
And surprising notation no one else has seemed to notice yet, Gibbagobba had a perfect round. And Edward and Ogle both missed the first question. Wow. Alrighty, so starting round 4, question 1 for Edward. Now this is round 4. These questions will be worth 200 points apiece, and they will be harder still. Or maybe not. We'll see. So, your question will be, what did Han Solo think attacking the first Death Star was equivalent to?
A suicide mission.
Yep, I'll give you that one.
But you said 200, correct?
Yep, that is correct. 200 points. Gibbagobba, your question will be, what type of droids are equipped with circular saw blades?
Astromech droids.
I'll give you that. So go ahead and give yourself 200.
Was it a little more specific or something?
R2 units, but astromechs and R2s, I'll allow it.
I wasn't sure. I felt like it was a specific thought.
Right. Like I said, I'll allow it. I would assume most astromechs would have that type of feature. You never know when you'll need it aboard a ship.
I'm assuming you probably didn't even know.
Oh, I'm the one that made the question, so I kind of have to know, don't I?
Which is why you gave it to me.
Ogle 45, your question will be, what city's customers are anxious to avoid attracting attention to themselves?
Okay, it's the Ice and the Lando system. Cloud City.
Good job.
Did you just call it the Lando system?
Yes, the Lando system.
To quote something dark side, Lando's not a system. He's a black guy. In fact, I think he's the only black guy in the galaxy.
Did they really call it the Lando system?
No, it's the
That's what
Bespin system. It's
that-
the Bespin system, but
actually
Solo's reading the deal. He reads Lando's name as being the owner of the city in the Bespin system. He's like, Lando. And Leia's like, the Lando system?
If it's the Lando system, he must be a real egotist.
No, it's not the Lando system. It was a mistake. A misinterpretation by Leia.
Actually, if I remember correctly, the planet Bespin resides in the Inuit system.
I could have sworn Bespin.
Well, that'll have to be for after the recording. We can do a little research to satisfy Ogle's curiosity.
You and me guys are not 100% sure on that. I do know that Cloud City is on the planet Bespin, which could be in a different system, so...
Right.
Get your crap together, Ogle.
Yes, Ogle, get your crap together. All right,
Guys,
Edward, your question will be, who was C-3PO's master before the crash landing on Tatooine?
I know this one.
Last time Ogle said he knew that one, he was wrong.
But I really do know this one.
Be formless, shapeless, like water. Be water, my friend. Shut up. This is not the Bruce Lee tribute.
At least he knows what that's from.
It's C-3PO's master before crashing on Tatooine. Leia, I think.
I'm sorry, the correct answer was Captain Antilles.
I knew it.
Do Captain Antilles and Wedge Antilles have any relation?
Surprisingly, according to the expanded universe, no.
That made a bit of disappointing build-up. It's just surprising according to the expanded universe. No.
Well, as you've noticed, Gibba, I am infamous for surprising build-ups that lead nowhere.
Do you really have to start that?
Alright, your...
You want me to talk to you about Darkseeker again?
Not yet, not until I finish Stewie's playthrough. So, your question will be, Dun dun dun. What duo's escape path was blocked by a cave-in a Hoth base ice corridor?
R2D2 and C3PO.
I'm sorry, the correct answer was Han and Leia.
What's the only other option? I got it wrong.
And actually, it would be a triplet because 3PO was with them. He was falling a little bit behind. Being 3PO, he can't run really fast.
You getting into your specifics again?
Yes, well, the last time Ogle had a robot in a threesome, never mind. Ogle, your question will be, what enemy vehicles had Han just escaped from when he said, well, don't everyone thank me at once?
Imperial Star Destroyers.
Good job.
You know, Zero, I think that little robot comment you just made about Ogle asked for a lot of unwanted fan fiction if anyone wants to catch this.
Well, I do hope people will be catching it. That's why I'm doing this.
Maybe others shall join.
Nobody likes an instigator.
It's not as bad as Edward and his Ugnaughts.
Oh, now don't even open up that kind of fan spectrum. The less they know, the better.
If anyone wants all the inside jokes, just go to the JK Hub and just read everything on that site.
There's our Gilbillion tactics.
Edward, your question
My
will...
channel, you'll get it.
Yes. Edward, your question will be, what Death Star weapons were the maneuverable Rebel starships able to avoid?
Could I have that one more time?
What Death Star weapons were the maneuverable Rebel starships able to avoid?
All I can think of is the one weapon that comes to mind on Death Star, the planet, the planet laser, or the super weapon, whatever it's called. Glowy thingy.
The super laser?
Yeah, the super laser.
I'm sorry, the correct answer was the turbo lasers.
The turbo.
The turbo lasers.
Almost like those turrets on the trench.
Right.
Yep. It was that if the captain walks up to Vader. The white captain walks up to Vader and he goes, Lord Vader, several ships have broken off from the main group, but they're so small they're evading our turbo lasers. Would
trench turrets have been an acceptable answer?
I think I could have allowed that.
But I got that completely wrong.
Much better than the big planet blower upper thingy.
Roy the Fidos.
Except for what Henry was the Raiders.
Let's see.
I don't know why, but I kept thinking, for some strange reason, I could not fathom the turbo lasers, even if it's the size of a moon, and even if it's the size of a moon and probably covered with turbo lasers, I could not fathom that the lasers would reach all the way to the rebel ships that were fighting the... They're still weapons, last extent weapons, really.
Well, what they were referring to there was the X-Wings and Y-Wings that were attacking it during the first battle.
Maneuverable starships.
That's what they were referring to as the X-Wings and Y-Wings.
You should have known this. Carson, Star Destroyers. Yes, they're big, strong, and powerful, but take forever to turn. Yes, right. But, yeah. Oh, okay.
So, Ogle, that would be a 0 for Edward on that question. Gibbagobba's image pop. Alrighty. Are you ready for your question, Gibbagobba? Your question will be, what is the first alien species seen in Star Wars A New Hope?
I got this. And it is, I believe, Jawa.
That is good. Very good. 200 for you. Now, Ogle, I have a small question for you. Do you have Gibbagobba's icon up on your screen?
I do not.
Huh. Because for some odd reason, Gibbagobba's icon appeared on top of the your screen, actually. And
It's
unfortunately,
off of Skype.
what now?
It's probably a webcam thing. It didn't log in fast enough.
Interesting. Alrighty, and Ogle45, your question, I think, will be...
Oh, that wasn't my question. I don't get points for that one?
No, Ogle, this is Star Wars trivia, not what's
And
wrong with you.
besides, you didn't even answer it.
Exactly.
Yes, I did. I said no, it did not.
Technically, he did answer it, yes, but this is Star Wars trivia, not what's wrong with your computer trivia.
It's not my computer that's wrong, it's yours.
Whoever's computer, you must remember, I'm the one with the questions, Ogle. Let's see.
Is it possible to get disqualified for upsetting the judge?
Do you really want to test the theory?
No, because I want to win the first round.
You mean the first episode?
Yeah, whatever.
Technically, you lost the first round. Alrighty, your question will be...
Well, I tied for second in the first round. I didn't lose it.
I don't see this thing becoming, like, nationalized as a national competition just because of this.
Alright, your question will be... Well, I'm not necessarily doing it for national ratings, I'm doing it for the Star Wars community.
Someone asked the question already.
Ogle45.
Oh my god, I'm going to interrupt again.
Ogle45, your question will be... What 3 words of advice did Luke give C-3PO before leaving to rescue Leia from the Death Star's prison?
Okay, when you say 3 words, you mean 3 literal words.
That's correct.
Not 3 different segments.
Right, 3 literal words.
Lock the door.
I'll accept that, yes. Lock the door.
What was it?
It was lock the doors, but I will accept lock the door.
Come on.
That's what I said. I will accept lock the door.
As far as I could tell, it was only one door to the control room.
Right.
Yeah. Well, there was the door to the closet in the control room, I mean. Yeah,
So-
but I don't know why you would lock that unless you wanted to lock yourself in the closet, which they ended up doing anyway, so...
This is going to go to Sonic somewhere.
Let's see.
Okay, Edward's turn, and I take the lead.
Alrighty, so final question for round 4 for Edward will be... What movie did Star Wars surpass in 1997 to become the highest grossing film of all time?
It's Star Wars surpass.
Yes.
Are you using Google? That is cheating.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's been doing that.
I hope not.
notes on my final exams, and I don't know this one.
Don't you hate when you get that one question that you just don't know?
Well, I haven't kept them. Actually, I haven't seen the charts or anything like that for 97. I think 97, I wasn't too bothered about the details. I just watched stuff.
Well, mind you, this is 1997, not 1977.
97. I still don't think of anything.
I'm going to pick you. I'm not allowed to guess.
Are you going to venture a guess? Just any guess, Edward?
I pass.
Are you going to make a guess, Ogle, just to see if you could have gotten it right?
E.T.
Congratulations, it was E.T. the Extraterrestrial.
I was going to guess it. Well, the reason I guessed E.T. is because when Star Wars made records for the first time, those records got topped by E.T. So I figured that Star Wars would eventually retake E.T.
And yes, my bad. So, not that anyone would take me seriously on it anyways. I didn't.
Yeah, wrong one.
Are you ready for your question, Gibbagobba?
Yep.
Final question for round 4. What year saw the U.S. theatrical release of Return of the Jedi?
Thinking 2 dates. I would love to guess 1986.
I'm sorry, the correct answer was 1983.
My other guess was 1984.
84 would have been closer, but still not correct.
Someone's not happy.
And Ogle 45, are you ready for your final question?
I am ready for my final question.
Alright, your final question, Ogle, will be, who, in an early Star Wars A New Hope draft, lived with a female who looked like a cross between a brown bear and a guinea pig?
Luke Starkiller.
I'm sorry, the correct answer was Han Solo.
None of it matters.
So, in a photo finish, the final question for round 4, nobody was able to get.
I'm really confused about that. Last question.
What, your last question or Ogle's last question?
Last question. What the heck was that?
Random trivia from an early draft of Star Wars.
So wait, was Han Solo Chewbacca?
No, Chewbacca was originally a girl who looked like a furry guinea pig.
Crap.
Well, in another earlier draft, Chewbacca looked like a mutant with, like, Morbius the vampire face kind of thing.
Good thing that they became more original. So weird.
Now, Ogle
was originally named Luke Starkiller.
Now, Ogle
They
slight.
didn't use Starkiller as a reference, but making that the code name for
The Secret Apprentice.
the Secret Quest was the Secret Quest. Gallon Merrick.
Yeah, in The Force Unleashed. Now, Ogle.
Also, a fun draft Luke was a 65-year-old general.
Now, Ogle, since I can't see past the Gibbagobba image, which I'm sure might be getting recorded on Fraps, what is your total score?
1100.
Oh, nice, 1100 even. So, that was J.K. Hub.
Why can't your image see past?
I don't know. So that was the J.K. Hub Trivia Challenge. We have our winner this evening. That would be Ogle 45 with 1100 points. Congratulations to you, Ogle, and your random trivia knowledge. Apparently, Ogle45 tonight is our Angry Jedi Knight nerd of the week. We have Gibbagobba in a respectable second place with 950 points. Again, I tip my hat to you since you're the one that claimed to not be a Star Wars psycho nerd. And in third place with 675 points, we have Edward, who I am actually mildly disappointed. I thought he would do better. But then again, unfortunately for Edward, it is currently, 4 a.m. there?
Yeah.
So.
I tallied up the zeros. If all the questions were the same, they would be the same.
So for Edward being tired at 4 a.m., he did very well with a respectable 675 points. So I hope everyone enjoyed the trivia challenge. I hope our contestants had fun. Hopefully they will, at least most of them will join us again next week, preferably a little earlier. Gibbagobba. I did say 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Oh yes, because I totally have an Eastern Standard Time clock sitting on my desk.
Well, considering the fact that for you it's 7 p.m. right now.
Yes.
Okay, just think 3 hours difference, so 6 p.m. Eastern Standard for you would be 3 p.m. And on a Saturday, I had assumed you really wouldn't have been too busy. So that was the JK Hub Trivia Challenge, Week 1. Hopefully I'll see you contestants again here next week for another video. Maybe we'll have some different contestants, such as Darth Dan or Darth Stewie joining us. So, or yes, or even Kamon if he feels up to playing, or maybe we can get some other Hub members to join.
I'd like to see Trank do something for once. As long as he doesn't accidentally loop his voice when the video's over.
Yes, that would be quite hysterical. So, that will.
Again, watch Gibbagobba's playthroughs on the JK Hub. You will understand all these inside references.
Feed me money. I can't.
So go ahead and remember to rate, comment, subscribe, and tell me if you want to see more of this trivia challenge. We can.
From Cheater, Steeler, Raven, Ogle, Edward, and me, Soulless here, signing off.
I was going to say we can be found on the jkhub.net, all of our editing profiles, as well as the link to the trivia page. So if you want to see more, go ahead and let us know. If you have suggestions for questions, or if you'd like to be a contestant, feel free to sign up there and let me know your Skype name, and we'll get a hold of you. Until then, it will be Ogle, our winner, Gibba, our second place, Edward, and myself, Zero Raven, wishing you all a pleasant evening.